Okay, so this is a recorded discussion for the topic nucleic acids. So which is very important because these are the reasons why we have the same characteristic with our parents, such as our physical attributes. Bakit kulot ang buhok natin? Same with us parents. Bakit we have the same eye color, shape of the lips, and as well as the skin color as well. Okay, so what are we going to discuss from this? We'll have the discussion of the nucleic acid, which is a polymer, and it is consists of nucleotides, which has different components as well, and there are two types of nucleic acid, which are the DNA and the RNA structure types. So it says the cell in a organism are exact replicas. Why? Because our cell have an embedded information on how to make new cells. And molecules responsible for such information are what we call the nucleic acids. So they are found in nucleus and are actually acidic in nature. So nucleic acids are generally polymers that are very essential to our biological system. So these are polymers of biomolecules that are passed from one generation to another generation. So there are two types of our nucleic acids, such as our DNA and our RNA. So the basic unit of our nucleic acid are the nucleotide. Because our nucleic acid are polymers in which repeating unit is the nucleotide. So mahabang chain siya ng monomers which is called the nucleotide. So our functions of the nucleotides and nucleic acid is of course has something to do with the cellular energy currency o yung tinatawag nating adenosine triphosphate, as well as with other energy metabolism such as our CTP and the GTP. It is also important in elements of heredity and the transfer of characteristics, especially physical attributes, from parents to the offspring. And nucleotides and nucleic acid consist of heterocyclic nitrogenous bases as its major component of the structure. So there are two types of nucleic acid. Of course, DNA, and the other one is an RNA. So DNA or the deoxyribonucleic acid can be found within the cell of the nucleus. It is a deoxyribonucleic acid. It means it is missing one of the oxygen atom on its structure. Aside from that, it is a storage and transfer of genetic information, and it can be passed from one cell to other during the cell division. So other one is the RNA, which is a ribonucleic acid, and it can occur in all parts of the cell. Its primary function is to synthesize the proteins, which has a specific G codon for each of the amino acids. Okay, so our nucleotide has three components. Your nucleotide consists of a nitrogenous base, the 5-carbon sugar moiety, which makes the difference of DNA and RNA. Again, DNA has the deoxyribose, RNA has the ribose sugar, and of course, the phosphate group that is attached to our sugar or carbohydrate. What makes a nucleotide or a nucleoside? So, a nucleotide should have three components. And a nucleoside only has two components, which consists of your nitrogenous base and your carbohydrate. A nucleoside is missing a phosphate group. Okay, so remember, if it has a carbohydrate, a nitrogenous base, and a phosphate, three components, it is a nucleotide. But if it only has two components, meron lang tayong carbs here, meron lang din tayong nitrogenous base that is only a nucleoside. Okay, another example. So this is carbs. So this is the nitrogenous base and this is the phosphate group. Three components, therefore it is a nucleotide. Okay, please remember that. Okay, so let's discuss the 5-carbon sugar part of a nucleotide. So the 5-carbon sugar makes a difference of our RNA and our DNA. So ribose is present in RNA. 2-deoxyribose is present naman in our DNA. So the difference is on the hydroxyl part on the prime carbon number 2 in our ribose sugar. So as we can see here on DNA and deoxyribose, it is missing a oxygen on our prime carbon number 2. So we only have a hydrogen atom. So this is the difference in the identity of these two uh, 5-carbon sugar. So our DNA is more stable structures since it is missing one of the oxygen. So, mas nai-inhibit na ma-cleave off yung structure natin ng DNA kaysa versus our RNA. And of course, it could also prevent enzymatic reactions because the hydroxyl group in prime carbon number 2 is not present. So, that makes our DNA a more stable structure. So, bakit meron tayong tinatawag na prime, okay, on our indication ng carbon number. So, the prime represent the location that it is on the sugar moiety. So, again, bakit may prime? The prime represent the location of the bond or the atom within the sugar moiety. Hindi sa ring structure ng nitrogenous base, hindi sa phosphate group ang titingnan, kundi titingnan agad doon sa carbohydrate. Okay? There are two types of heterocyclic nitrogen bases found in our nucleotides depending on the type of the ring they contain. So if it contains a 9 component, so 9 atom ring or 9 membered ring, it is called as a purine structure. But if it contains a 6 component, 6 atom ring, 6 side string, it is called as a pyrimidine ring. So ibig sabihin ng heterocyclic ring, there are multiple atoms that we can see on the ring. For example, we have here carbon here. Meron din tayong nitrogen on the structure. So, hindi lang carbon essays for each side of the ring. So, there are multiple atoms, such as, of course, the nitrogen. Kaya nga siya tinawag na nitrogenous bases because the ring structure contains a nitrogen atom. And of course, there are total 5 bases. 4 of them are most in our DNA and RNA. So there are 3 pyrimidine derivatives such as our thymine, cytosine, and of course our uracil. 2 purine derivatives such as the adenine and of course our guanine. So you have to remember that uracil can be found only in RNA, thymine can only found in DNA. Okay, so and again, pyrimidines have 3 derivatives such as the cytosine, uracil, and the thymine. And DNA and RNA, tandaan, DNA and RNA, both of them have the cytosine. So again, thymine can only be found in our DNA. Uracil can be found only in our RNA. So tatandaan po yan. So the formation of a nucleotide from a sugar base and its phosphate is visualized as phosphate attached to the prime carbon number 5 and the base is attached to prime carbon number 1. position of the pentose. So again, C1 position here is attachment of the base, our nitrogenous base. And the C5 position can either be C5 and C3. Pwede siyang position for our phosphate group. So, pwede nga phosphate is naka-attach to the prime carbon number 3 or prime carbon number 5. Okay, like this one, the attachment of the phosphate group ay nasa prime carbon number 5. Another example here, ang attachment ng phosphate group natin ay nasa prime carbon number 2. But it is always that the nitrogenous base is attached to the prime carbon number 1 of the carbohydrate. Okay, please remember that. So for the nomenclature example, if adenine ang ating base, so this is our DNA. Of course, this is a deoxy, so it is called a deoxyadenosine, and it has a 5 prime carbon number. It means the phosphate group is attached to the 5 prime carbon of the carbohydrate. And it is only has one number, that's why it is a mono. Isang phosphate lang ang nakakabit sa 5 prime carbon number ng carbohydrate. And another one, thymine. So it is a deoxythymidine, 5 prime. Okay, so 5 prime carbon number ng carbohydrate, there is one phosphate attached. That's why it is a monophosphate. While as if we are dealing with RNA, of course, this is a ribose sugar. It is not placing any oxygen on the ribose sugar. So therefore, there should be no deoxy on its name. It is called as is, adenine, adenosine, 5 prime carbon number, there is one attached phosphate group. Kaya ang tawag sa kanya, adenosine 5 prime monophosphate. So our DNA is a chain of our nucleotides. RNA is also a chain of a nucleotides. So a ribonucleic acid is a nucleotide polymer in which it contains a ribose sugar, a phosphate group, and a base that can be adenine, cytosine, guanine, or uracil. A deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA, again, its difference is based on the deoxyribose sugar. It also has a phosphate group and its heterocyclic bases can be adenine, cytosine, guanine, and of course, a thymine. So the primary structure of our nucleic acid is the linear sequence of the polymer. So, paano nagkakaroon ng pagkakasunod-sunod ng nucleotide sa isang chain? Ang pagbasa ng sequence is always from the 5 prime end to the 3 prime end of the carbohydrate. So, paano nagkakaroon ng addition of another nucleotide? It happens with the hydroxyl group ng 3 prime of the first sugar or first nucleotide to the phosphate group of the second nucleotide. So, the attachment is called as a phosphodiester bond from the 3' carbohydrate ng ating first nucleotide to the phosphate group ng ating second nucleotide. So, another one, the 3' carbohydrate ng ating second nucleotide will be attached to the phosphate group ng ating third nucleotide. And again, the 3' carbohydrate ng ating third nucleotide is attached to the phosphate group ng ating fourth nucleotide, and so on. So that is how we connect the sequence of our nucleic acid. So nucleic acid can also have secondary and a tertiary structure. So when we say secondary structure, it is when your single-stranded chain interacts with another single-stranded chain. So dalawang chain yon to make what we call a double helix for only on the DNA structure. So another one is that the polynucleotides of our DNA structure will run on an opposite side. Kung ang isang chain is mula sa 5' end hanggang 3' end, of course, the other chain will run naman 3' end to the 5' end. So, opposite side yan. And of course, the base composition is always equal. Meron tayong tinatawag na Chargaff's rule where the amount of adenine is also equal to the amount of thymine. The amount of cytosine is also equal to the amount of our guanine. So, for example, DNA contains 30% of adenine. Of course, it is also equating with the number of thymine, which is also 30%. And such examples, another one, 20% ang guanine, 20% din ang cytosine natin, of course. So, DNA strand, since nagkakaroon ng what we call annealing, meron tayong tinatawag na term na annealing. The definition of that is joining of two sequence in a anti-parallel fashion. So again, one runs from 5' end to the 3' end. The other one runs from the 3' end to the 5' end. That's why it is called as anti-parallel fashion. So here, the connection between the first sequence chain and the second sequence chain is occurring in what we call hydrogen bonding within the base pairs. So, tandaan, the connection is what we call hydrogen bonding within the base pairs. So, the base of the first strand will interact to the base of the second strand to make what we call hydrogen bonding, kaya nagkakaroon tayong tinatawag na helix formation. Again, in our DNA here, we can see that the hydrogen bonding between the two bases. Again, where do hydrogen bonding occurs? If your hydrogen is interacting with nitrogen and hydrogen is also interacting with oxygen. So again, NH bond, HO, NH, and HO interactions. So this one naman, pinapakita lang kapag naka-helix form na sila, paano yung paano yung hydrogen bonding as well. So the complementary base pairing makes the two strands have the level of stability. So the hydrogen bonding is the strongest intermolecular force, and that's what makes the DNA stable. So again, ang nagko-complement ay adenine and of course thymine. Then we have here guanine and of course cytosine. And as we can see here, cytosine with guanine is much stronger because it contains 1, 2, 3 hydrogen bonding. And thymine contains 1, 2 hydrogen bonding. Tatandaan nyo na, guanine and cytosine has 3 hydrogen bonding. Adenine and thymine has 2 hydrogen bonding. So the base pairing of guanine and cytosine is much stronger than the adenine and thymine base pairing. Okay, why is that in DNA, adenine is always connected to your thymine? Bakit hindi si uracil? Bakit thymine can only be found in DNA? Bakit uracil can be found only in the RNA? Why uracil is not used in the DNA. So, uracil is much more unstable. Hindi siya ganon ka-strong compared to an adenine and thymine bonding. Why? Thymine has an extra metal group. Again, this is one carbon group. That's why it is a metal group. So the degree of methylation in thymine, that extra metal group, make the structure of our thymine more resistant to photochemical mutation, kaya mas may degree of resistance and stability ang adenine thymine base pairing. So again, adenine thymine for DNA, guanine, and cytosine again for our DNA. And uracil can only be found in our RNA structure. So let's have a sequence of our DNAs again. Adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. So let's have a complementary strand of our here single DNA. What will be the strand of the another DNA? So this is adenine, of course. Its partner is thymine, adenine, thymine, thymine, adenine, guanine, cytosine, cytosine, guanine, adenine, of course, thymine ng partner, guanine, cytosine, cytosine, guanine, thymine, adenine. And again, the first chain runs from 5' to the 3'. The another chain is anti-parallel, opposite direction. So therefore, it is a 3', 5' direction. So again, this is what we call an anti-parallel fashion. Another one example, this one. So again, ulit-ulit, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. Okay, so 5', opposite nun, 3'. So adenine, so thymine, thymine. This is guanine, so cytosine. This is cytosine, so guanine. This is thymine, so therefore adenine. We have here adenine, baligtad, thymine. Guanine to, so cytosine. Cytosine to, so guanine. Thymine, thymine, so therefore adenine, adenine. Then adenine here, thymine ng partner. Cytosine here, guanine ng partner. Thymine here, so adenine ng partner. 3' si first chain, therefore baliktad, 5' naman si second chain. So please remember that ha, DNA strand to another DNA strand, it will be called adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine ng ating base pairing. So let's discuss the discovery of our DNA structure. Sino ba yung mga proponents? Sino yung nakadiscover? Sino yung nakapag-create ng structure ng DNA? First one is we have Erwin Chargaff. So Chargaff said that the number of the purines is always equal to the number of pyrimidines. If your adenine is 30%, of course, thymine is also 30%. So Chargaff's discovery is something with the proportion again of the adenine in the DNA molecule, which is always equal to the proportion of also the thymine. Same as well with the proportion ng amount ng guanine is also equal to the amount of our cytosine. And that is called as the Chargaff's rule. So it is what we call a rule that became known as the Chargaff's ratio or the Chargaff's rule. So the idea of base pairing is actually crucial in making a 3D dimensional structure ng ating DNA. So that is the start of making or envisioning a structure of a DNA as well as the RNA. So in 1952, Rosalind Franklin, she worked with Morris Wilkins, where they were able to get an X-ray crystallography or images of a DNA structure. So they were also provided, especially Franklin, nakapag-provide siya ng measurements ng DNA. However, So this is the crystallography structure or images of a DNA. On top, yung top part ng ating DNA helix, for example, this is our DNA helix. So, ito yung na-picturean, yung top natin, pag tinignan natin yung DNA natin on the top view, this is the picture of our DNA. So, this is the top view of our DNA structure. So, again, she was able to make measurements as well of our DNA. So, however, Maurice showed the data of Franklin to James Watson and Francis Crick. So, so they were able to make a structure, a model of a DNA, which is a double helix, using the data of the Franklin's data, and of course, the Chargaff's rule. So, ayun. So, this shows the top of the DNA helix, were they able to make the measurements of the bond lengths as well, especially the hydrogen bonding between the bases, gaano kalayo, the position of the bases, yung phosphate groups natin, and of course, kung paano yung attachment ng first nucleotide to the second nucleotide. So, they were able to formulate the DNA structure. So, sabi nga dito, here, the instant I saw the picture, my mouth fell open. When he saw the data of Franklin, and my pupils began to raise. So, the black cross of reflections which dominated the picture could arise only from the helical structure. Mere inspection of the X-ray picture gave several of the vital helical parameters. So, the structure of the DNA is established under the name of Watson's, Crick, and Maurice without the consent or knowledge of Rosalind Franklin. They did not credit the X-ray crystallography of Rosalind Franklin. So this was a letter of Franklin when she found out that her work was published without her knowing. So Watson's and Crick, these three persons were able to receive a Nobel Prize in 1962. So despite her contribution, she was the first proponent of the structure, her picture, her crystallography picture. She was not credited for the work and she was not named for the Nobel Prize. So again, what's the moral story of the story? If you're doing researches, always protect your data before it gets published by the others. Okay? So, stealing may be a part of the game. Yes, po, nangyayari to in the research world. And as much as possible, always protect your data and do not make other people see it. Okay? Until you were able to publish or patent your researches. So this is an additional slide. Actually, there are two proponents of a structure of a DNA. One is the Watson's and Crick's pairing, which is the anti-parallel fashion. While there is a Hoogston pairings where it is a parallel DNA fashion. So again, anti-parallel runs from 5' papuntang 3'. The other chain is 3' to 5' direction. While Hoogston is parallel. So kung 5' yung isa to 3', the other one is also 5' to 3'. The question is, what makes Watson and Crick the perfect condition for a DNA structure? So Crick's and Watson's pairing, were we able to have an anti-parallel fashion, we would have a more accurate This more precise and more stable hydrogen bonding between the bases. Mas nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nating degree of spatial stability ang mga bases para magkaroon ng hydrogen bonding. So, kung makikita ang bond angle ni Watson and Crick, it would have a stable configuration than the Hoogston model. Mas mababa ang degree of spatial stability. As you can see here, they are not on the same length, yung hydrogen bonding between the first part and the second part. While as kay Watson and Crick, mas almost the same yung spatial stability ng first hydrogen bonding within the second hydrogen bonding. As well as this one, another one. 1, 2, 3 guanine to cytosine. They have all the same length. So therefore, its spatial stability is much greater. Then this one, kay Hoogston, mas mahaba yung isa, mas maliit naman yung hydrogen bonding ng isa. That's why Watson's and Crick is more precise, more accurate, and more stable hydrogen bonding. So, mas preferable ang Watson's and Crick's pairings. Okay, so discuss naman natin ng RNA natin, which are the single-stranded molecule. So, the difference with your DNA and RNA bukod sa deoxyribose and the ribose for RNA is that ribonucleic acid is a single-stranded. It is a singlet structure. So, it is not a duplex. Wala siyang dalawang chain. It is just a single structure. And RNA have different kinds of RNA. So, they are different from one another based on their function. So aside from that, again, RNA is a ribose sugar, it is a singlet, and it is also characterized using the base structure of uracil instead of a thymine. Differences of DNA and RNA. So our DNA has a missing oxygen, while as the RNA has the oxygen on the hydroxyl part. That's why it is called a ribose sugar. This one is called as a deoxyribose. And of course, the adenine-thymine connection, RNA, is what we call an adenine uracil connection. So thymine has extra methyl. That's why it is more stable and most preferable for a DNA structure. So again, the differences. DNA nitrogenous bases are adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. RNA is adenine uracil base pairing, guanine cytosine base pairing as well. The sugar residue, deoxyribose for DNA, missing one oxygen atom. RNA is a ribose sugar. Stability is much good. It is because of the thymine. It has extra methyl for stability, as well as it is also a double-stranded helix, while as RNA has weak stability, and it is also a single-stranded molecule. So we have different types of RNA. So they're different from one another based on their functions. First one is the transfer RNA, so or the tRNA. So its work is to deliver amino acid for the site of our protein synthesis. Nagdadala siya ng amino acid residue papunta sa growing peptide chain. So again, after dalhin, pagdudugtungin yung ating growing peptide chain. So yun ang trabaho niya. Another one, we also have the mRNA, the messenger RNA. So it carries information from our DNA inside the nucleus and it will take it to the ribosome for protein synthesis. Again, gene expression tayo. Ribosome cannot read the DNA. So it transcribe again DNA to our RNA. So what will the messenger RNA do? It is the one that is used as a transcript for our protein synthesis. Ito na yung readable form ng ating RNA. So, it delivers the message from the DNA to the ribosomes for our protein synthesis. And lastly, we have a ribosomal RNA. So, it is actually a guide by ribosomes for protein synthesis. Component siya ng ribosomes natin. So we have other RNA that is used for protein expression, such as our long non-coding RNA, which is used for the gene regulation. This is gene regulation. We also have the PIWI associated RNA. So PIWI is for the transferring. Ay tinatawag nating mga jumping genes. We also have the circular RNA for the upregulation naman to. Or inhibition sa titawag nating tamirna. Okay. So, these are different types of our RNA which has specific functions, and this will be actually elaborated in the central dogma. Mas maintindihan natin ito in the central dogma. Okay, thank you very much for listening. I hope you understand what are nucleic acid, what are nucleotides, our DNA, and also the difference with it with the RNA.